Dr. Sofia M. Starnes, Poet Laureate Emerita, is a writer of Philippine-Spanish heritage who's been an American citizen since 1989. She served, as Poet Laureate from 2012 to 2014. She has authored 6 books of poetry and translated 3 books of essays on art and history. Among 6 anthologies, she edited Four Virginia Poets Laureate, 2004 to 2012, an Anthology and Reader's Guide. She also edited the Nearest Poem Anthology in 2014, the culmination of a project she brought and had initiated during her tenure as Poet Laureate of Virginia. She co-edited the Poetry Society of Virginia Centennial Anthology, along with Carolyn, Kreiter-Foronda, and Ed Lull. And she's co-editing Blended Voices, which is a new anthology that we're doing together, she and I. She's received over 40 national and international awards for her poetry and received an honorary doctorate from the University of Kentucky. She is currently, finally, according to her, fine-tuning her full-length collection of dizains, 10 Tendrils, Tenderness. At the rate she's going, this may take another 5 years, or maybe, dare I say, 10. Just kidding. But she's happy. So please take it away, Sophie.
Thanks so much, Kathleen. Thank you very much, everybody, for being here. I will share 4 poems with you today. And the first one is interesting because Carolyn also spoke about touch. And the poem is called The Ways of Touch, and it's about how important, how vital touch is for all of us. It became all the more conscious about this during the pandemic, although this poem was prescient because it was written before. It's called The Ways of Touch. Here's how you know the urgency of touch. One day you see a nest about to fall and fledgling birds turn tiny wings upwind, a breeze at hand to bear them to new houses. In this, a near assurance that we meet, that every cedar felled against the green may grow into a town. In coastal cells, in rows, a cluster of inhabitants, their kiss. A woman bears a basket on her head, from daily heavy laundering she comes, her palms up high, the late sun tracking notions, a husband's shirt, a skirt, a blanket for their baby. And though the rigors of their village toils are past, the ways of touch persist. Glass often breaks to smithereens, a crystal screen may crack against a thumb, sapphire to dust, dispersals. And still, between restraint and urgency, you are the child a woman swaddled every night, the one who would not hurry. And she is the mother for whose arms, all ours, you cry. If touch is an expression of connection between us horizontally at the same time, Genesis is what connects us, genealogy, with the past. And I've often heard that we are made of the stuff of stars. And that's true, we are carbon and gas, but that's a little sad to be just carbon and gas. Anyhow, this draws all kinds of questions about the significance of being human and where we get the things that we are and what we feel and believe. So I wrote this poem called Genesis. It's made up of 3 dizains: sparks, survival, and mercy. From dust to dust, the clever man assumes we're merely heirs of stars. After all, there's carbon in our eyes, our bodies fall, and like the sparks, we shiver. The last bars of a requiem whisper death, our memoirs hold no life. Whoever pivots backward finds no shade, no twilight to reward the final turn, no everlasting garden. Who knows what it was like for the first sword, the primeval pond, the earliest heron? Survival. Last night, a fawn wandered across our new lawn, thin legs, dark eyes, successor of echoes and remakes, all the tweaking through the millennia, filtering cells to favor the fittest after a long, hard winter. Would the sun or Sagittarius A, wrestling with a black hole, care about her quest for food, her soft belly, hoofs in a precarious dance? Would they shelter her through the contest, shield her earnest heart, iron out a truce? Mercy. Sunsets in suit, remnants of a first feast, a starry banquet spread across the clear heavens. Consumers and consumed, The least among them are among us now, a frail deer, a one-eyed heron, a fickle dove, while fearless predators gather, play out their role. Night magnifies the pond, and the winds dole out a requiem at the edge of each being. If not a star, who gave us our word, console? From where comes our lament for every bone breaking? Whenever I read in the summer, I read this little poem, or at least in the recent years, because it's myrtles. And we moved to Virginia in August, and I was immediately enthralled by these tree shrubs that bloom when nothing else does. So this is myrtles. It's also a dizain. So I'll read it here. Noon finds them in full rapture, raucous pink and flame, as if metaphors and trees grew all ablaze. Like Sarah's womb on the brink of barren, pulsing late, rekindled to bear a child. Once a young wife, she's now close to nightfall. And she waits with no guarantee of a perfect child, or the outcome of a plea bargain, or the tip-top crown of a sprout emerging. Life comes neither late nor early. Between birth, the tree skirts death every minute. And lastly, same way at the beginning, we had a poem about touch. I'd like to end with a poem about words, because that is what connects us as well. And it's the last poem actually of a collection, Fall into Ashes, so it's not a new poem, but it speaks to the oscillation between silence and word where we abide. A way through words. Now and in the hour. After this, a temporary silence. Come, let the air fall gently on your lap, as if a fleece uncurling, nothing else, as if a lamb you chose out of a herd, the sacramental. After our histories of speech, harangues in song and stammer, with notices alighting on the trees, lean back, umber and ancient on the chair, your trembling carriage. Of hopes, this is the most unbearable yet true, our hardest moment. After the tidying up of prayers, heart at the first, amen against the last exhaling, we're asked to finger quietness, to flick the sediments of sound away as one would sweep a desert. Ah, dry against dry, the dust lured into puffs, the mouth of nature. Strong is the tongue that tastes, now and in the hour. One murmur and we've left this temporary silence, voices raising to tell us what things are like. By rumoring, we raise the dead. Blessed be the word at stake, the universe of stars, articulate as childbirth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophia. Just wonderful paintings, and the myrtles, of course, are in full bloom. Thank you again for sharing.
Thank you, Kathleen.
And for everything you do. I forgot to mention that Sophia has also chaired the North American Book Awards for several years.